there could literally be no changes to our body, but because we have bad body image, we look in the mirror and we're looking for proof that we are fat, that we are not attractive. Because the second I look in the mirror and I'm like, you hideous piece of
Yeah.
I'm going to find those things. But if I actually came in the mirror and saying, I feel so beautiful, my mind will then look for proof.
I love this.
Yeah, I had to learn this through years of therapy,
Ooh,
girl.
Yeah.
Years of therapy.
Okay, so tell me this. Where does that start from? Where does this idea of fat phobia in our culture of for some reason fat does not equal beautiful? I feel like it's more of an internal perspective of self and our identity. And we're trying to latch onto something to prove to others now I'm worthy of, maybe it's a worthiness of love thing, you know? Where do you think it started for you?
So it's so funny because my body was always just my body. It was just always there.
It's just there serving you.
Exactly.
You live an experience in it.
But it was society. It was me really diving into social media at an age where I need to be attractive for the men. I was honestly watching movies. The fat people were always the joke, and there's always fat jokes. And that is what got into my mind, thinking fat is bad.
And worthy of love is skinny.
Yes.
I think it's like a protection mechanism against rejection.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Looking like we have it all together when internally, oh my gosh, we're
just human.
We're human. When you see someone lose weight, what is the first thing you say?
You look
so
good.
good. You look so good. It is regardless if they have an eating disorder or if they lost
have a
healthy
tumor,
weight
or
tumor or cancer.
Yeah.
You see them lose weight. Oh my gosh, you look so good.
So we're equating losing weight to looking
Good. Yeah, and then when
I'm
someone...
guilty of this.
Yep. Yeah, when we see someone lose weight, oh my gosh, what did you do? But then when we see someone gain weight, instantly in our minds, we don't say this out loud, we think they let themselves go.
If you struggle with anorexia and you gain weight and that's where your healthy weight actually is, that's a good thing. We should be saying, hey, you gained weight.
I was losing a lot of weight because I was developing this obsession with healthy eating, and it was secretly anorexia, but I was in denial. Because
you're eating healthy.
Exactly.
I'm doing healthy things.
And I thought anorexia was just starving yourself. Oh my gosh. No. That's why I was saying I'm not anorexic. I'm just very healthy. I was losing a lot of weight and I was getting so many compliments. So many compliments. And that's what triggered my eating disorder even more. I was like, oh, so this is good.
I'm receiving praise and I'm equating that with love. So I will repeat this pattern so that I continue to receive what I perceive as love. Did you have a feeling of being superior to others?
Yes. Because when I saw people sitting and eating candy or
just eating whatever
eating
pizza,
whatever they want,
Mm-hmm.
I am thinking in my mind, how weak.
They haven't learned what
They haven't learned what they just give into junk food. And I'm over here eating carrot sticks. And I always said, wow, I just don't crave candy and junk food. Weird. In my mind, I'd be very prideful of it. And so it was an act of pride knowing that Julia is the skinny one. That's what my name was.
It's
oh,
the
Julia,
identity.
the really, really skinny one? Oh, yeah, I know her. And then that became my identity.
Now, I think this thing of pride that we refer to, I think underneath it is always a thought process of some false belief of our identity. I have to prove my worth through something. So it's almost like Julia being fat wasn't as worthy as Julia being skinny. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I think, maybe we can label it pride, but I almost think we could label it as lack of understanding of self-worth. Because we all have our own pride for things, but usually when you uncover it's no, I feel really good about that because it's protecting a part of who I think I am.
Yeah.
And if I lose that part, then who am I? You know, this lack of understanding of identity.
Because it turned to people first being very, wow, impressed to very scared, worried, where people saw me and were like, Julia, you don't look well. And now the eating disorder muscle has gotten so strong
its own little life.
It's still a compliment. People saying, you don't look well, you need to eat. It would be the
through
eating disorder lens being see, Julia, you're good at this. Whatever your identity is, you are mastering it. Kind of like with women who are I'm independent, I don't need a man. When they see you in a relationship, they're weak.
We were just talking about this before because this is my thing.
Yeah.
Where I've just discovered this about myself where I'm like, that's what I've latched onto for my identity. I have worth that lives within me and resides in me. It's just my little consciousness back there, and it observes all my thoughts. It observes my life. And yet I was like, I need some kind of identity. And I think after years and years of being a single woman that just couldn't find a partner, I was like, well, that's going to be my identity. I don't need somebody to show up and give me happiness. I will create it myself. So much to the point that it hinders what you were talking about, hinders my relationships with other people, hinders them with like friendships, with my family, with dating, because I think in my head, everybody else is weak for not being able to live this superior single woman life. Yeah, I think that's what I've latched on to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I felt with food. I'm like, I don't need food.
What probably was that rock bottom, that darkest moment? What was that?
So I was on my mission.
She was serving a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yes. Church mission, you're going out, and the goal is to teach other people about Jesus Christ, okay? My goal for my mission wasn't spiritual at all. It was I wanted to prove to the entire world and to myself that I can be a missionary without gaining any weight. I'm like, ooh, this is going to require a lot of self-control, which I'm so good at already.
Yeah.
Well, it actually bit me in the butt. When I stepped on a scale for the first time, and I was probably 15 months in, I'm sorry if this triggers anyone. I just want to open the eyes of how awful this can become if you do not seek help. I stepped down 75 pounds.
How tall are you?
5'5".
5'5" and 75 pounds.
And 75 pounds. I was not well. And my mission president was going to send me home, but I was working with a mission nurse where I was restoring weight on the mission, enough to stay on, but man, did I need help afterwards. It was enough to just get by. So I was able to finish my 18th month
You probably
mission.
could have gone home then and received
I
help
should
then.
have.
For anybody who's thinking about that, do what you need to for your health, even if it means, finishing something early.
I stayed on for pride. The thought of I cannot come home early because that's
other
failure.
People's opinion. Yeah, failure. Yeah. Failure of self and other people's opinions, being afraid of that.
Exactly. So I finished a mission I really shouldn't have. It was that moment that I'm like, wait, this eating disorder is trying to kill me. This whole time, I've been thinking that this is going to be so...
That this is rewarding and helpful for you.
The eating disorder is never on your side. It is against you, 100%. It is against God. It is against everything good in this world. But I went to the dark side believing that it was a good thing. I had to face my fear of foods. I had to learn what it is like to nourish my body. I'm learning to not act on emotion. I'm learning to be consistent and treat myself how I would on my good days and on my bad days. Actually, give myself extra love on the bad days.
Yes.
And so every day in the mirror, at first I had to say it out loud. Now I just say it internally. I am choosing to nourish my body. I'm choosing to move my body in a way that's empowering. And I am choosing to be on my team. I take control by loving myself even on the hard days. That is why I today can truly say myself in the mirror that I respect myself, I love myself, and I will always take care of myself. So please take care of yourself and have some respect for yourself, because your future self and your posterity and your family members will also reap the benefits when you start loving yourself.
That was beautifully put. Thank you so much. That is our homework.
Yes.
What's one thing that you can do today to show love for yourself? Love of coming from a place of like, I really care about myself and want myself to be happy, and I don't want to torture myself or make myself suffer. That's not love. Well, this has been amazing. Comment below what you're going to be doing to love yourself more. And Julia, I'll link any of her socials below. Love you guys. Thank you, Arc Studios, for having us today, and love you all.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. Love myself. Oh. It's the end.